Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrook Family Farm. Today has been kind of a weird day already. This morning started out being about 35 degrees colder than it was yesterday, which, obviously we're modern people. We have the weather app. We knew this was happening. So this past week we had a really nice bit of a warm up in Ohio. So I was able to focus on getting a lot of things done outside before the fall weather returned. But in saying that, today has been weird. Well, first I'll show you the progress I made on Burr and Ferdy's hut yesterday. So today all I have to do is work on creating sides and a floor and a roof. So basically everything still. But that was on the agenda for today. That was my only thing that I had listed for what I was going to do today. But things changed pretty quickly. So first off, the weird thing that happened first thing this morning was I put my necklace on like I always do and stuff. This is the necklace that I always wear. It's just a heart-shaped stone. It's a piece of Corsicola. But so I put that on and came out and did the animal chores like I always do. It had been on for about 15 minutes or so. And then as I was letting the ducks out of their hut, I felt something fall into my boot. And I'm like, what in the world? How did I get hay in my boot already? I haven't even touched anything. I don't understand. So then I carried the duck eggs inside and I'm like, I gotta get this thing out of my boot. This is really uncomfortable. Somehow my necklace fell off, fell down through my bib overalls, and landed in my boot. Thank God it landed in the boot, because I'd have never found it with how many leaves and such are all over the place if it would have fallen off in the woods somewhere. But so then I go to milk the goats, and Fawny, which is our white goat, she's our veteran milk goat. This is her second season being milked. She pretty much never lets me milk her all the way out, especially with the machine. Usually about halfway to, 2/3 of the way done milk, and then she loses all of her patience and is just over it. Today, for some reason, she just stood there like a saint, which normally she's incredibly finicky and really a big pain in the butt to milk. She stood there like a perfect little angel, just waiting the whole entire time, let me milk her out completely, which is absolutely amazing. So that was kind of neat, and I was like, man, this new moon must be bringing a new change with everything, because it's also the new month. Well, then about 10 minutes later, maybe 15 minutes later, I heard a weird commotion outside of the barn, and I'm like, what in the world is that? So I come out and I look, and I had noticed that they had pushed open the fence over in here where there's those two T-posts there, and had started escaping. Luckily, I was able to catch the issue and distract the rest of the goats before anybody else escaped. But Fawny, the one that was being a perfect saint a little bit ago, she must have known something was going to be kind of funny going on today. Her and her daughter Bonita, which Bonita is that tan one right there that's walking inside, they both had caught in the briars. They both had escaped and were running up in the woods where Burr and Ferdy's new area is going to go, until they got distracted by the fact that there was chicken feed out, and it was a whole big fiasco of me sprinting around the farm, grabbing T-posts and grabbing a sledgehammer and doing all these things, just so then that way I could slap some more T-posts in over here to then make it so that way nobody else escaped. The reason that they got the opportunity to escape is because, well, yesterday, this area over in here, which there's still some T-posts in place just because it's been dry, so it's hard to pull them out. I really should invest in a T-post pooler, but haven't done that yet. This area over in here originally was fenced in to a small fenced in area to have it be that the chickens could go out that little chicken door there with the ramp and all that stuff that Winston's standing by, and to make it so that way the goats couldn't get out of the barn that way. Yesterday, Daisy had figured out that she found a small hole, she made it actually, in the fencing that was where the goat side connects to the chicken side, and had actually, while I was working on Burr and Ferdy's hut, had run out the front door of the barn, and I was like, whoa, something's going on. So yesterday I had enclosed the chicken coop door there. I sealed it shut so that way nobody else would come in, which was, a future plan to do this winter. I want to make a door over in here so that way both sides can be accessed from the goat area, since that's both sides now are for the goats. So that was a future project that I did not have on my agenda. I really would like to just be able for once to start one project and finish that without a million other things going on. But so anyways, I knew that this fencing was kind of in a type of condition that I had planned on over the weekend taking care of, but as goats would have it, that could not happen. But so doing all that led to having to take out different pieces of fencing in there, so then that way I have extra T-posts, so then that way I can enclose this area in here, which as you guys can see, there's a pretty big drop off from where I'm standing here, that I will have to basically curve things around and finagle things around. I'm not sure how other farms manage to have like perfectly straight fence lines and things look nice, neat, and orderly. Maybe it's because they're not in the woods, I'm not sure. But like around in here, when I put this fencing up, this was the type of stuff I was battling with, was all these different tree roots everywhere, making it so you can't have the fence posts evenly apart because, well, you hit rocks or you hit tree roots or a million other things. So it's just gonna, I think that our homestead is perpetually going to have curvy, weird, wonky lines, which I'm okay with. But so the other thing I've been working on, because as I was working on coming back in here, I remembered that I have yet to cut down all of the barbed wire fencing that was ran by previous owners. How they did this was they actually ran it into several trees and used the trees to serve as like a fence post, which I guess worked for what they were trying to achieve. But what it ultimately did was cause a lot of damage to a lot of different trees. So like this one here is one, this is a small maple. It is not in very good shape, but you know, it's staying for right now. And then that big cherry right there, they did the same thing. And then it all loops down and around with the barbed wire around in there. But the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I want to show you the words are jumbled this morning. One of the nicest tools that we've gotten on the homestead, the most like pa-ching thing that has helped out immensely, is these right here. These are a recent purchase. I think that they were like, they're power shears by Ryobi. They can cut through metal roofing, but the big thing that we got them for is for cutting through fencing, because as it is right now, the field fencing that I have on the perimeter of the property, that I have to use bolt cutters to cut through, because just a standard pair of dikes or wire cutters cannot get through it very well. It is a nightmare to cut through. But so the bolt cutters, they work, it's okay. But these things are a game changer. I started cutting some of the barbed wire that was down that way and getting it thrown in the trash. That way we don't have to keep worrying about cutting our legs open. Plus I want to run the goats up through here, so it's got to go. But these things are a serious game changer. I had used these to cut up all of the different fencing stuff that I needed to get out of the way, and it is so freaking quick. Like I want to show you guys, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick this up, but so there is, right here is a piece of barbed wire, and I'll try to figure out a way to show you guys how easy this is. Okay, this is not an easy setup. Let me set the camera down so I can show you guys as best as I can. And as you guys know, I am not sponsored by anybody to do anything like this. I just like a good tool whenever I find one. So all you gotta do, like I said, this is not an easy thing to try to show, especially being the only one out here. And you guys are probably gonna fall over, but that's okay. It is super simple to just effortlessly come through and cut different pieces of the barbed wire off. It takes literally like half of a second to just bink, 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 and it makes it so much easier to build stuff, which I wish that when we built all of the rabbit tractors and pens that we have, that we would have had something like this, because cutting through hardware cloth where it's every half an inch you have to make a snip, 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 and doing that, you know, repeating that process of, you know, 1,000+ times, that gets very hard on your hands. This and the automatic stapler that we got, these are some of the best homestead power tools that we've invested in yet, and they are some of the cheapest ones. Like when I've seen these online for years, I've seen these and I'm like, yeah, this is ridiculous. What do I need power scissors for? Seriously, this tool will help your homestead out immensely. But anyways, I have to get busy because, well, it's already like 11 o'clock in the morning and I have a million things to get done today. So anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.